Hello everyone, my name is Eli O, Identity 5 commentator and competitive coach, and today we're going to review some of the gameplays from the South East Asia IVC, which has currently been going on. I wanted to expand some of my, some of the content, some of the analysis that I have into other regions. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Southeast Asia. And of course, why not get started with GH? GH, one of the most well-known teams out of the Southeast Asia region. And they're going up against SKG here. And the hunter for SKG is actually MSU, which was the hunter for the Korean team MS back in the KOA Colobus 5 global tournament, if you can recall that. And yeah, so it's going to be you versus the GH survivors. This is going to be the first half of the first round, and you actually starts off with the forward ban. This could mean a few things. We're going to see Mercenary and Priestess locked, and this could mean a few things. Typically with the forward ban, we'd see maybe something like a Breaking Wheel, maybe something like a Chip Hunter that doesn't necessarily need to ban Seer, like a Sculptor or a Bonbon. We actually see Little Girl ban second, which is very, very uncommon. This is really only in there. I mean, maybe this could be preparing to be put to play something like Dream Witch, but it's not very likely. We are going to see Entomologist get locked in as well, which something you're going to find in this region is Seer would have been great. I'm surprised GH hasn't taken Seer, and this is something we've seen a lot here in Southeast Asia. Is they kind of just completely neglect Seer. They don't like to play Seer at all, which is very uncommon considering that most other regions will prioritize Seer over a lot of things. If you look at the China region, Seer is always one of the first banned characters. It's always one of the first locked-in characters. Seer is just used quite often. However, I don't know, the meta is shifting quite a bit with the release of Flywheel and some of these other new traits, new characters that have sort of come into the game. We're also going to see Seer actually get banned here for you finally. And the last character, I'm not really sure. This could be something like an Acrobat. Okay, it was Acrobat. That's definitely the most logical choice. Acrobat being a very strong kiter, also a good supporter. And you actually goes Clerk. And this is something we've seen so far in this tournament is Clerk in a round one situation. And Clerk has started to be banned more in certain regions. Actually, in the NAU region, a lot. Clerk gets banned a lot in Thai tiers. Clerk has become kind of a stronger hunter. Of course, Dream Witch is still the best, and Clerk can't really compare to Dream Witch. However, Clerk is still she's good on certain maps. She's typically good on maps where you have a lot of pallets that the hunters typically would like to be able to abuse. That you can't really do so if you're playing Clerk. As long as you have that recording on a survivor, they cannot throw down a pallet or the Clerk can instantly pick it back up again. So this is going to be, yes, an interesting match. This is on Sacred Heart Hospital, if I'm not mistaken. And I think GH was prepared to play against the Clerk. I think they were probably expecting this based off of this team composition because, Priestess, obviously, in Hospital is very strong, Mercenary, great rescuer against a single-hit hunter like Clerk. But then Acrobat and Entomologist are both very strong against Clerk because Acrobat can interact with windows, can interact with vaulting without actually having to vault himself, which means the Clerk cannot record him and therefore use that to block off a window or a pallet later on. So Acrobat can actually be very good. He can also slow down Clerk with the slow bomb, cancel any of her recordings with the firebomb. And then of course you have Entomologist, which is not only a very good support character against the Clerk, it's also a very good kiter against Clerk because once the Clerk gets closer, you can get off your bees, the Clerk gets stuck in the bees, and you make distance that way. And it's also a situation where if you're trying to go to a pallet, the Clerk has a recording on you and you don't want to have to throw down the pallet because you're worried that she'll just pick it up right away with the recording. You can just get off your bees, leave the bees in the pallet, and keep transitioning away. And this also works in terms of support as well. So if Captain Coon here, of course playing the Entomologist, has good enough support, there's going to be a lot of strong kites from the survivors. Now, when Clerk thrives against teams that don't excel in support, and that's why Clerk's very good in later rounds because you can ban all those support characters, and there's no real support to deal with Clerk. So as long as Clerk's able to get a quick down, then she's able to control Cybers and win the game that way. We do see that Yu is going to get one of the chip recordings. He's going to record himself swinging, which means he can therefore use that to chip a survivor, hit a survivor with that recording later in the game. He is going to go ahead and head immediately towards Hospital here, which is the location of the Acrobat. Interesting that he chooses to go Hospital first. Obviously, chasing in Hospital is never ideal. Does actually get the recording back and the pickup there, so an excellent quick recording for you. Does he get the drop-down hit on the Acrobat? He does get a drop-down hit, so a big misstep here from 481. I think maybe didn't know where the Clerk was coming from. Not really sure there. But he's going to go ahead and vault that he is going to ping. This is going to give the location to the Entomologist, Captain Coon, so he can use those bees. Excellent job from Captain Coon here, using these bees to hold the Clerk back. This is what we were talking about before the match, right? The bees in the pallet are very strong because you don't want to throw the pallet down because then you get a recording. You can pick up the pallet right away, and the Clerk already has one recording anyways. So this is, using using those bees there is very, very strong. Now we are going to see the priestess come in for portal support. So excellent job here. And the portal is really key because as you saw, they blocked off the window. A second portal set up as well. One thing I really love about this GH team is that they support like a China level team. They have that excellent support. And that's definitely going to propel them in these sort of matches, especially against a strong hunter like you. Now, the only problem is entomologist and priestess supporting means the only one decoding is Zalcon the mercenary. So the cipher progress is going to be slowed down a little bit. But look at this acrobat constantly making distance. He did use a white ball here to make distance. I don't know if I agree with this. I think basically what the acrobat's trying to do here is he's trying to avoid getting blinked. He's trying to delay the blink as long as possible. Oh, the clerk knows. The clerk is going to pick up the pot and get the hit there. Okay, this is really important. So you guys can see here. Okay, you guys can see here when the clerk comes down this window. You see how there's like a trail there. You see how it's like a darker color. You guys here, watch this. Watch this closely. This is something that the acrobat didn't really consider. So 481 here made a little bit of a misstep. It's stronger to just run through the pallet. Watch as the clerk drops down. Do you guys see how the blue little patches on the ground there? That indicates that a survivor is right there and most likely camping that pallet. Of course, it can show there as the survivor is running away, but it's usually not going to show as much. It's weird how it works. It's kind of a weird interaction, but that there, the clerk knows that the hunter, look, he's going to bait. Look how he went in and then pulled back. He baited the acrobat to drop it, and then he could instantly pick up the pallet and get the down. So the goal for 481 was to at least get blink out, but he was not able to get the blink out, and that's actually a little bit of a misstep, unfortunately, for the acrobat. However, very nice support from the priestess and the entomologist. We are going to see him use that ability to slow down the priestess decoding progress here. And, something else to keep in mind as well, Captain Coon, he only has 25% bees left. He does not have a lot of bees remaining. So it's going to be very difficult for him to either kite later or support later in the game. Now, the question is, do they actually come for a mercenary? It looks like Zalcon is going to come in here for this first save, takes the hit, gets the rescue. And the portal set up as well. Beautiful job from Little Boy, allowing that. And the bees as well. This is beautiful. Allowing 481 to continue to rebound kite here. Yeah, I mean, amazing. Excellent job here from the survivors of GH. And again, Acrobat is going to go right back to the window here. He's going to vault this. Will we see the blink? He is going to see the blink here. And all of that support actually goes to waste. So the goal of supporting there with that rescue is that you can actually get... See, here's the thing, right? If Acrobat gets blink out, he's going to rebound for a long time. The problem is because he still has blink, even with the bees and the rescue and the portal support, he can't... It's hard for him to rebound because if the clerk ever gets close, they just blink and get the kill that way. We are going to see excellent dodges from very, very beautiful awareness from Captain Coon avoiding those chips there. And so again, that's the problem. So he wasn't able to get blink out. So Acrobat needed to try to get blink out on the first kite, and he wasn't able to do it because he went for the pallet camp. And that's why pallet camping, it's not exactly the best strategy. And it works against Clerk in some instances, but it doesn't really work here. Now we are going to see, it looks like, I don't think so they're not going to rescue. Clerk's going to go ahead and head over towards Shack here, trying to check if a survivor is there. No survivor, of course, in the vicinity of Shack. Captain Coon hiding over here feeding tinnitus. Will the clerk look in this area for him? Oh, he does reveal himself. If he stayed hidden, I don't think the clerk would have actually seen him. So maybe a slight misstep there from Captain Coon. I'm not really sure. But again, it's really hard to tell if the hunter's actually near you. He's going to go ahead and use that ability on Little Boy to try to slow down the decoding yet again. And Captain Coon, he's going to kite away from the Priestess Cipher, which is good, but he's going to give a free hit in the process. Oh, he missed Flywheel from Captain Coon here. Look at this, very, very unfortunate. Missed Flywheel there. That's a huge miss there, unfortunately. And he's kind of trapped in a little bit here. Clerk is gonna have to break it. Does not have a pallet pickup recording. He does have it there. Oh, but gets stuck there. That's actually really important. Captain couldn't actually get back to the next pallet here. Or he had a pallet break recording, rather. But you can get to this next pallet. now it comes down to the mind game here. Can they get the charge check? No! You hits the wall there trying to mind game. Captain Coon goes for the... Oh, gets the pallet stun! Beautiful mind game there from Captain Coon. Now, he does have time to transition to this next pallet, but he does not have Flywheel available. And this is where him losing that Flywheel really, really cost him. Because if he had Flywheel, he dodges that hit and he continues to kite. So unfortunately, that misstep on the Flywheel is going to be a big game changer. Now, this is where Clerk gets really scary. You're able to pop one of these ciphers, go down to one cipher machine, most likely the 89% cipher. But now he's going to constantly use his ability on Little Boy And Little Boy's doing a very good job of not actually picking up the beautiful job. He's not going to commit to that cipher, which means he's not going to get recorded and get that cipher blocked off. Now I believe he did get it that time. The clerk got it that time. Yeah, he did get that time. So Little Boy's going to take the time to set up a portal in the process, and we are going to see Zalcon coming for the rescue. And now the problem is this is a double hit mercenary, so he's going to go down. And he doesn't really have anything to kite with. And here comes the blink for the clerk. Beautiful blink from you right at the pallet. Gets rid of the god pallet as well. That's obviously very strong here. And the problem is the 89% cipher, it's still not popped. Now Zhao Khan's on the ground. He cannot decode. And this is where Clerk, again, gets very, very scary. Priestess is going to go to the other cipher. She should be able to pop this one right here. No, she just missed it. He got the recording just in time. I mean, beautiful discipline from you. This is excellent. Little Boy, you're really trying to finish these cipher machines, but yeah, it's tough. Not much you can really do here. The first kite, it was not bad, but Blink, not getting the Blink out, Acrobat getting a little too greedy to try to cut out the Blink, unfortunately cost them. The support is good. The only problem for GH here is while the support is very strong, they're over-supporting a little too much. And because of that, they're putting themselves in situations where the ciphers are not as far as they could be. There's kind of a level of how do you explain it? There's like a level of support and then like over supporting that you don't want to have to cross here. Beautiful portal here from the priestess into the pallet. Excellent job from Little Boy. Going to get a pallet stun. Actually allows him to create some distance. Forces you to break the pallet. He's going to have to break this one as well because he does not have that pallet pickup recording, or even if he did, I don't think he wants to waste it there. And we're going to see Little Boy just kind of transition away here, getting to these next pallets over here. Let's see what he's able to do. This is a very good place to tight kite in. Oh, he actually throws the pallet down. I don't know if that was intentional or not. He's going to actually just break it. Okay, so he's actually going to drop it and then break it so Little Boy can't use it. Actually a very interesting play from you, and it actually ends up being very useful here. And he most likely, is he just going to keep chasing the priestess? Looks like he is. Again, trying to keep Zhao Khan off of the cipher with that recording, but yeah, I mean, this is just how Clerk goes. Just like Dream Witch, you pressure a survivor off of the cipher machine, and you just constantly just do this. Now, Little Boy does get the pallet down beforehand. He's going to use the window as well, and he's going to force to break it. So what Little Boy's doing that's really, really strong here is he's interacting with these pallets while he's not being recorded. Look, he's not being recorded here, which means the Clerk cannot use that as a reverse, right? He cannot reverse it and pick up the pallet because he doesn't have that recording. So that's an excellent job from Little Boy. He's making sure he's either out of line of sight of the Clerk or not recording, or not being recorded, and then we'll throw down the pallet. So that's just, I mean, amazing. Beautiful job from Little Boy. And yeah, he's gonna give up on this, and he's gonna go in. Look at how much cipher progress that was. I mean, the cipher was like 50%. It's gone 20% in like 2 minutes. That's actually crazy. How Clerk can be like that. Now Zhao Khan should not die here. He has 2 elbow pads. Clerk does have blink, but he can constantly keep distance with the elbow pads. He's gonna, again, beautiful job from JH, throwing the pallets down when not being recorded. And now he's going to go ahead. He's going to use that on the priestess again, try to force him off. And this is where Mercenary needs to start a new cipher machine. Zhao Khan needs to immediately get to a new cipher and start a new one here. Unless the priestess leaves hospital, then he can go back to it. But it really just depends here what the game plan is. He may... Okay, he's going to go ahead and pressure it instead. Okay, this also works. I was going to say, if the Clerk just kind of camps in the middle and doesn't really... chase anyone, then Zhao Khan needs to start a new cipher, but he's actually committing to priestess. So that's when Mercenary should go back to the cipher, which is exactly what he's doing. Beautiful job from you using the recording before he goes through the portal. That was just super quick interaction there. And this is where tight cutting is super important. So Little Boy knows that he could get recorded any second, and he's going to try to tight cut here as much as possible. Tries to blink. That he tried to blink there. Was not able to get it. Little Boy's going to vault this. Does have broken window speed boost, it looks like. So I assume no flywheel. Goes for the blink there. That is going to secure the down. The last cipher, 80%. It's not enough. And that's just Clerk. I mean, you can't do anything. That's what happens when there's 2 people left in the game against Clerk. You lose the game. I mean, it's just that simple. Zhao Khan's going to stay alive as long as possible. Priestess, Little Boy still has self-heal available. But it's just, it's tough because, you're going to chase the Mercenary here, and then Priestess gets back up, goes to the cipher, but he's just going to keep blocking it off over and over. Now Zhao Khan should be able to kite for a little bit. He does have an elbow pad, although he is kiting to an area where there's not a lot of pallets, because of course Little Boy has kited here and used up most of these resources, he's going to be forced to expend an elbow pad, which is not ideal. Yeah, I mean, all the pallets at statue are gone as well. Captain Coon burned through them earlier, so... And there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just that Zao Khan's kind of kiting to an area where he doesn't have much to work with. Oh, beautiful block. Oh, gets the Terror Shock, which means he doesn't have the delayed effect. So Zao Khan potentially making a misstep here. Even if he takes the hit, I don't know if it actually would have mattered, but... Excellent play from you. Drops the pallet onto Zhao Khan there, and he's unable to run through that. And that's just Clerk, full presence. I mean, just the amount of recordings he has to work with, it's just incredible. The amount of just potential that Clerk has with Chase, with Cypher Control in the late game like this. It's so strong. Little Boy is going to try to stay alive as long as possible. I don't know if Mercenary has self-heal because he has rescued once. And now this is just where Little Boy... it looks like Mercenary does potentially have self-heal here. No, maybe he does not. I don't think he does. I can't really see because it's kind of a small screen. But Little Boy is doing a very good job of just breaking line of sight. I mean, Little Boy has played this so well. I mean, the rest of the team played fine, but Little Boy has played this so well. I mean, unfortunately, it is going to be a loss for the survivors, of course. But he's played this so well. Mercenary does take the hit, and, you know, Little Boy's going to keep kiting, but now it's just a matter of time. He's outside of hospital, no portals. Not a lot of pallets to work with here. You might try to block this. No, he's just going to grab the recording. He actually used his vision on Shaq there, which is interesting. I mean, Little Boy knows exactly what to do against Clerk. I mean, just, you know, using all of these... he's going to camp the pallet, goes for the mind game, and this should be it right here. Goes for the swing. Oh, he avoids it! Oh my god, he's still alive. Goes for the portal, into the pallet, for the pallet stun! Oh my god, dude, I love this Priestess. This is actually very impressive, especially against you, a very good hunter like you. Okay, he's dead. Not much you can do there. That's so impressive. That he was able to just stay alive that long. I mean, just knows exactly what to do. Oh, look, it's Pachinko. He knows exactly what to do in all of those situations. I mean, it's just impressive. You know, knowing when to throw pallets, knowing when not to, knowing when he's being recorded, knowing when to break line or how to break line of sight. It's beautiful. Yeah, excellent job from you. Again, I think the big downfall for them was the over support in the early game. But besides that, not bad. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to upload 2 of these per day. The second half, where the Hunter side for GH Plays will be uploaded later today or tomorrow, depending on where you are in the world for the time zone. But thank you guys for watching this first match for the first half.